Don't stay off of his damn lawn. Go on.
Diabetes.
Kim Kardashian, Kim K, says she doesn't smile much because it causes wrinkles.
She doesn't smile much because it causes... yeah. See, I would have thought that the reason Kim Kardashian didn't smile very much was because she's a soulless marketing tool in a loveless marriage with a talentless megalomaniac. But I agree to disagree, I guess. Go on.
Download my app. Rutgers University is using episodes of Seinfeld to teach med students about psychiatry.
Students haven't learned much about the inner workings of the human mind, but they have learned a ton about the deal with airplane peanuts. I would so sign up for that class. I did a little bit of reading on it, and what's interesting is that it all comes from the twisted mind of Larry David. So some of the they basically use episodes of Seinfeld as examples of particular psychoses, whatever. But they point out, like, on this one, George is displaying this sort of psychological abnormality. And what I think is interesting about that is Seinfeld comes from, like we said, the twisted mind of Larry David. So I have to assume that at least some of the more neurotic, the neuroses displayed in Seinfeld actually have to be a thing. It's good enough for Rutgers University, which is like a good school, to teach a course on. So I'd be curious. Maybe I can sign up for the online class. Go on.
Hello, left brain. Bill Cosby's show dates in Canada, will not be canceled. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Heavens to Gretzky. He's still popular over there. I guess the big question for Bill Cosby now is, how well does a roofie dissolve in Molson?
Sorry.
2
contestants on a recent episode of The Price is Right guessed the cost of an iPhone to be over $7,000.
To which Apple responded, why didn't we think of that? Go on.
Dallas Cowboys beat the Detroit Lions yesterday in sports.
In sports.
24-20.
Yeah. Did you see Chris Christie? He was in Jerry Jones's owner box jumping up and down when the game ended, like thrilled to pieces.
Jumping up and down?
Yeah, I think it registered a 5.7 on the Richter scale.
I felt
the
that.
Detroit players were devastated, mostly because they have to fly back to Detroit and live there.
It's a bummer.
Go on.
A California couple got married at Costco.
Yeah, married at Costco. But continue telling yourself it's the gays making a mockery of marriage. Go on.
Wish I had a card. I could have gone.
Yeah.
Free samples.
Love Costco. Love me some Costco. And a lot of people would... I don't know. I love Costco. I like the fact that they treat their employees well. Everyone there seems to be happy to be working there. And you can get a delicious rotisserie chicken, the size of which is untold, for just like $5.49. I look at it and I'm like, this is not a normal sized chicken. Like a Costco rotisserie chicken is roughly 3 times the size of your average sort of grocery store rotisserie chicken. I'm like, there has to be hormones. There has to be steroids involved with this. This is probably that GMO stuff that they say is going to give us all cancer. But gosh, is it affordable and delicious? So if anybody knows any reason why I shouldn't be eating Costco rotisserie chickens, shuddy.
And they have quite a wardrobe, too. Have you seen their Costco jeans?
Yeah.
It's a thing we got picked on in, like, middle school for.
Wearing Costco jeans?
Costco jeans. Yeah.
I've never purchased anything from the clothing section at Costco. But it all seems to be like end of the... It's not like when you go to the outlet store and you buy Bugle Boy jeans, because like they only get sold at outlet stores, whatever the hell that is, like discount jeans or what have you. It seems to be like end of the line stuff, like Land's End that didn't quite catch on, or slightly irregular Land's End or whatever the hell it is. And like, here's a fleece pullover at Costco that will keep you warm. Despite the fact that the cold season ended a month ago, that's what we've got on sale. Like the clothing thing, everything at Costco is awesome. Like I can't front on anything at Costco. Like all the food I get there is delicious. The quality of everything, second to none.
Just wish I didn't have to buy 6 of them.
Yeah, I can't say enough about my shopping experiences at Costco. But the clothing there, yeah, that's a whole other beast. But they continue to do it, so whatever. Oh gosh. Anyways,
And finally,
we have more.
we have one more.
One more.
There's a new ice cream with wine in it.
So now moms can numb themselves to all their problems in one easy step.
You've worked so hard for it since you learned how to walk on your 2 feet. You will lose it. It's just a fact.
I guess that I should start by saying that all of this story is true. And even though the names are changing, if you think that it is, this song is probably about you. Tell me, was a kid that had so much promise, but it all went wrong the day he popped his first pill. Tell me, was a kid who was talented and smart, but ever since the day he started going downhill, wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. You just can't stop, you just can't quit, and all your friends are so sick of it. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. So tell me, do you remember all that lying to your friends? Like when you stole my guitar and you sold it, so you can't eat that Vicodin. How does it feel to be knowing that you let everybody who cares about you let them down? Till he doesn't even know he's kidding himself about why no one takes his calls or ever wants him around. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. You just can't stop, you just can't quit, and all your friends are so sick of it. Wasted again.
Delivering fascinating subjects, interesting talk, and boobs and fart jokes. AD on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah, yeah. You've been talking about me for a long time, but you're too scared to say what's on your mind. So
Of all the stories about Al Sharpton that you might have heard being passed around, trying to discredit him, trying to say that he's not necessarily all about equality and human rights and civil rights, and that he's more about race baiting for profit. I think my favorite story that truly encapsulates the unmitigated hubris with which he goes through life and treats very serious issues. Division, racial division in this country, serious problem. More serious now than I think it's been in a while. Certainly more serious now than it's been in my adult life. And these are real lives here we're talking about. When we talk about race relations, we're talking about human lives, individual rights and freedoms. These are serious issues, and ones that need to be treated with a certain amount of gravity and respect. And human dignity is so important in these situations because that's what we're talking about. Inalienable rights given to us by the fact that we were born into this life in America, where we are, in theory, if not in practice, created equal. And I'm not one of those racism deniers that you're going to hear on the radio on a regular basis. I know I'm not a racist. I know I don't see a whole lot of racism, but I also know it's not for me to project my experience onto others. Certainly people that have grown up differently. Certainly people that have grown up without the benefit of being born white. It's not my place to do that. But I will say this, it is my place to point out the fact that these are very real circumstances we're dealing with, especially in America right now. I will point out the fact that these crises of race relations that we're going through at the moment. These are all about human lives, one way or another. And for that reason, should be treated with respect and gravity. I think my favorite story about Al Sharpton is the one, are you familiar with this? Al Sharpton, in his mansion in Jersey, gets a call that a black honor student has been gunned down by a cop. Black honor student in the tail end of high school doesn't let the fact that he's an honor student stop him from making a mistake, doing something wrong, and mugging someone. Cop catches this black honor student, has him up against the wall with his gun out. Gun goes off. Kills black honor student, whose crime was mugging. Al Sharpton gets the call, finds out about it. Starts heading into New York City to the scene of the crime, ground zero of this place where a black honor student was gunned down. In the car, starts calling all of his media friends. Everybody at every newspaper, everybody at every TV station. Ready to have a live press conference at the site of this black honor student. At the site of this black honor student's death. Then Sharpton gets a call, 2/3 of the way into New York City. Hangs up, calls all his friends, cronies in the press, television stations, every news media outlet. Said, yeah, sorry, false alarm. There's not a story here. This is not something I'm going to be getting involved with. Turns around, goes home, goes back to bed, goes back to sleep. What was the call that caused him to turn around? It was a call telling him that not only was a person who'd been shot black, the cop who shot him, also black. Oh. No race baiting to be done here. No division to profit off of here. Human life. 2 human lives. 1 lost. 1 that will never be the same again. Is it worth screaming about the fact that this kid had his future yanked away by a cop that didn't necessarily know how to properly safety his firearm? Is there a story there? Yeah. But if it's not a race baiting story, if it's not one where Sharpton can pit black against white, if it's not one where he can trample on the principles of civil rights for profit, then he's not interested. Everybody knows Sharpton's a race baiter. Everybody knows he makes money off of this sort of thing, but a lot of people aren't necessarily sure how. Well, the New York Post broke it down pretty good. They have details on Al Sharpton's shakedown operations. Macy's, Pfizer, General Motors, American Honda, Chrysler, they're among the companies that have paid Sharpton to not cry racism. In yesterday's Post, Isabel Vincent and Melissa Klein reported how Sharpton gets paid from corporations. Why? Well, it's essentially a shakedown, blackmail, whatever you want to call it. He gets paid from corporations to keep from calling them racist. Want to influence a casino bid? Polish your corporate image, not be labeled a racist? Then you need to pay Al Sharpton. This is what they write. Typical scenario involves Sharpton confronting a company over accusations of racism. He then meets with company executives who end up